All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into a tool that really aims to fix the chaos of modern work. You know, if you're sick of juggling spreadsheets, digging through emails, and chasing down status updates, this one is definitely for you. We are talking about Smartsheet.
I mean, think about it. If you've ever felt like you're just drowning in project updates, trying to figure out who's doing what, and connecting a dozen different spreadsheets just to get a simple answer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have all the data, but absolutely none of the clarity.
So what is Smartsheet, really? Well, let's be clear. It is not just another spreadsheet. Think of it more as a dynamic platform, one that's built from the ground up to help you manage work, automate all those repetitive tasks, and then scale up the processes that work across your entire team or company.
Okay, so how does it all actually work? Well, to get Smartsheet, you've got to start with its core, its main building block, the sheet. Seriously, everything from a super simple to-do list to a crazy complex company-wide plan, it all starts right here.
Now, at first glance, it looks pretty familiar, right? You see a grid, columns, rows, it feels like home. But it's way more powerful than that. The best way to think about it really is as a spreadsheet on steroids. It's got that grid feel you already know, but with so much more power humming right under the hood. And this is where you really see that power in action. See, a column isn't just a place for text or numbers. That assigned to column, that can be a drop-down contact list that's linked directly to your team. The status column, a nice, clean drop-down with options you decide. And the due date column, well, it actually understands what a calendar is. This structure is what makes the whole system so smart. The most important idea here is this shift from static to dynamic. A classic spreadsheet, it's just an isolated file. It's one flat view of your data, and that's it. A Smartsheet, though, it's a living, breathing workspace. It's built to be collaborative, and you can look at the exact same data in a bunch of different ways. And you are not locked into just one way of looking at things. Not at all. You can start in that classic grid view, but then, with a click, you can instantly switch to a Gantt view to see your project timelines and how tasks depend on each other. Or you can flip over to card view for a Kanban-style workflow, or, hey, see it all laid out on a calendar. It's all the same information, just visualized perfectly for what you need to do at that moment. Now, having flexible views is great, but the real magic, and I mean the real magic, happens when your plan starts doing some of the work for you. And that's where automation and collaboration come into play, turning your sheet from a simple plan into a living, breathing project hub. Just forget about digging through your inbox to find that one conversation. With Smartsheet, the conversations happen right where the work is happening. You can @mention a teammate on a specific task, on a specific row, and that comment, it's now permanently attached, which creates a perfect history and keeps all your communication right there in context. But what about getting information into your sheet in the first place? Instead of you manually typing things in from emails, you can just create a Smartsheet form. Anyone, and I mean anyone, even people without a Smartsheet account, can fill it out and their answers instantly pop into your sheet as a new, perfectly formatted row. Game changer. And then you have automation. Now, I know that word can sound a little complicated, but it really boils down to a super simple logic. There's a trigger, which is the when, like when a new row gets added. There's a condition, which is the if, like if the status is at risk. And then there's the action, which is the then. So then automatically send an alert to the project manager. See? Simple. And here's where it becomes so incredibly practical. Just imagine setting up a workflow that every single Friday automatically sends an update request for any task that isn't marked complete. You've just automated one of the single most tedious parts of managing a project. No more chasing people down. So we've seen how Smartsheet can manage all the little details of a project. But what about the big picture? How do leaders get that strategic 30,000-foot view without getting totally lost in the weeds? Well, that is exactly the job of reports and dashboards. I mean, this is the fundamental challenge for pretty much any manager or leader, right? You've got multiple teams, they're all running multiple projects, and each one has its own sheet. How in the world do you roll all of that up into one single, easy-to-understand view?
So the first step is a report. The best way to think of a report is like a super filter. It looks across all of your different project sheets, and it pulls in only the rows that match the rules you set. So you could create one report that shows you every single task from every project that is currently marked at risk. This isn't just a list, it's your early warning system. And then the final piece of the puzzle is the dashboard.
This is where you take that live data from your reports and turn it into simple, really powerful visuals. So instead of just a list of at-risk tasks, you get a clean chart showing you the health of your entire project portfolio in a single glance. This is where raw data becomes real, actionable insight, letting leaders make faster decisions that are actually based on data.
So when you put it all together, you've got the flexible sheets, the in-context collaboration, the powerful automation, and that high-level visibility. That's when you start to see the real power of a platform like Smartsheet.
So why does all this matter? Well, it goes right back to that problem of chaos we talked about at the very beginning. It matters because you can centralize all your work into a single source of truth. You can automate the busy work so your team can focus on what's important. You get real-time visibility so you're making decisions based on facts, not just guesses. And maybe most importantly, you can create a standard way of working that scales as your team gets bigger. Ultimately, Smartsheet is a tool designed to change not just what your team does, but how you all do it. So the real question isn't just about the software, it's about you. What chaos in your work is ready to be transformed into clarity?